Hello friends, today now I will discuss over the LT network architectures. So actually LT network architecture is basically divided in three parts: user equipment, U-turn part, and EPC, Evolved Packet Core Network. And UMTC is the UMTS Terrestrial Radio Access Network. So it is divided in three parts. So Evolved Packet Core communicate with the packet data network in the outside world, such as the internet, like that private corporate network or the IP multimedia system. The interface between the different part of the system can denoted as UU S1 and is the SGI interface. So SGI interface between the EPC and this is the PDN gateway. So SGI interface, S1 interface, and U interface. So this is the interface basic. I will go in deep, but this is the overview architecture of the LT network architecture. This is the basic LT network architectures. And user equipment, first is user equipment is like that internal architecture of the user equipment of LT is identical to one used by the UMTS GSM, which is actually a mobile equipment. Mobile equipment is comprised of the following important module like that mobile MT, that means handle all the communication function, and terminal equipment that terminate the data streams, universal integrated circuit. These all the things use store user specific data, very similar to 3G SIM card, to keep the information about the user's phone number, home network identity, and security key. These all the information will be stored in USIM. And this is the U-turn part. So U-turn part is the architecture of evolving UMTS network, is also called UMTS Terrestrial Radio Access Network. So the U-turn handle the radio communication between the mobile and the evolved packet core, and just has one component, the evolved base station called eNode B. eNode B is called the eNode B, and eNode B in base station that control the mobile in one or more cells. The base station that is communicating with the mobile is known as a serving eNode B. LT mobile communication with just one base station and one cell at a time, and they are flowing two main functions supported by eNode B. Like that, eNode B send and receive the radio transmission to all the mobile using the analog and digital signal processing function of the LTE interface. eNode B control the low level operation of all its mobile by sending them signaling message such as the handover command. So each eNode B connect with the EPC by means of S1 interface, and it can be connected to nearby base station by the S2 interface, which is mainly used for the signaling and packet forwarding during the handover. Home eNode B is a base station that has been purchased by user to provide the femtocell coverage within the home. Actually, femtocell is purchased by the user to provide the femtocell coverage within the home. Home eNode B belong to a close subscriber group and can only be accessed by the mobile with USIM that also belong to the close subscriber group. So this is the basic, and after that we will go for the EPC core network. This EPC core network, which contain the which type of the element are sustained. So this is the EPC, and EPC contains some important functional part is MME, serving gateway, HSS, PDN gateway, U-turn. So U-turn is connected to this part. So this is this part is called the EPC, Evolved Packet Core Network, and architecture of this is architecture of has been there are few more components which have not been shown in the diagram to keep it simple. These components are like the earthquake and tsunami warning system like ETWS, the equipment identity register EIR, and policy control charging rule function PCRF and EIR. EIR is the equipment identity register and policy control and charging rules function, PCRA. Actually it is not included here, but I will show in details in. And HSS component has been carried forward from UMTS and GSM and is central database that contain information about all the network operator subscriber. And PDN gateway communicate with the outside world like packet data network PDN using the SGI interface, and each packet data network is identified by an access point name, APN. I will show in call flow how APN and in which message it will transfer APN message. And this PDN gateway has the same role as the GPRS support node GGSN and the serving GPRS support node SGSN and UMTS and GSM. Serving gateway SGW act as a router and forward the data between the base station and PDN gateway. And the mobility MME is a important element. Mobility management entity is the control the high level operation of the mobile by means of signaling message and home subscriber. And the policy control and charging rule, PCRF, is a component which is not shown in this above diagram, but it is responsible for the policy control decision making as well as for the controlling the flow based charging functionality in the policy control enforcement function which reside in the PDN gateway. The interface between the serving and PDN gateway is known as S5 and S8, and this has two slightly different implementation named S5 if the two devices are in the same network, and S8 if they are in different network. So this is the difference between the two. If it is same network then SA5, and if a different network then S8. So this is the EPC, and the facility of U-turn and EPC is different. And in U-turn there is inter-cell RAM is part where control all the information. RB control there, it control the RB informations, mobility control related information, admission, radio admission control related information, measurement, configuration and provision related information is handled in U-turn, and dynamic resource allocation is also scheduled in U-turn. So this is the part of U-turn where this is the facility of the U-turn. And when you will see in EPC, there is the important is MME, serving gateway and PD gateway. When we are talking about the MME, is responsible for the NAS security, idle state mobility handling, EPS behavior control. This is the three important facility: NAS security, idle state and mobility handling, and EPS behavior control. And serving gateway is responsible for mobility anchoring. MME is responsible for the NAS security, idle state mobility handling, and EPS behavior control. Serving gateway is responsible for mobility anchoring, and PDN gateway is responsible for UE IP address allocation and packet filtering. So these functionality are divided in U-turn and EPC. And after that we will see here in deep. This is the UE, and this whole part is called EPS. EPS. This is the whole part is called the EPS. EPS is evolved packet system, and in EPS evolved packet system there is UE, U-turn. This is part is U-turn, and this is EPC. So already have discussed the functionality of UE, U-turn and EPC. And here UE is attached, UE is connected to E node B, and E node B is connected to serving gateway and SMME, and this is part of the EPC here, OFCS, OCS, PCRF. Already have told that PCRF is here, HSS, MME, serving gateway, PDN gateway, and these are the overall structures of this one. So LT network called EPS, this evolved packet system, is an end-to-end all IP network. EPS is divided into two parts: LT part, which deals with the technology related to radio access network, and EPC part, which deals with the technology related to core network. So this is end-to-end all IP network, means that all the traffic flow from UE all the way to PDN, which connect to the service entity, are transferred based on the IP protocol within the EPS. So LT services to be provided here to user over the LT network, and there is some specific part, so we will discuss here the one by one, like that LT entity is a UE and E node B, where UE connect to the E node B over the LT UE interface, and E node B is provide the users with the radio interface and perform the radio resource management functions such as dynamic resource allocation and scheduling, E node B measurement, configuration, provision, and also E node B is provide the functionality of the radio admission control, connection mobility control, and radio bearer control, and intercell interface coordination, ICIC also. So we will also discuss over the ICIC in next tutorial. So what is the ICIC concept? So but here we can only know that the functionality of these all the things of the E node B. When you come in EPC entity is a lot of EPC entity part is MME is the first. MME is a main control entity of EUTRON. It communicates with an HSS. It communicates with the HSS for user authentication and user profile download, and provide use with the EPS mobility management and EPS session management function using NAS signaling. The main functionality supported by MME are as follow. Is main facility of MME is the NAS signaling, ESM and NAS security, user authentication and roaming with HSS over the S6A interface, mobility management. Mobility management means paging, tracking area, list management, and handover management, EPS bearer management. So this is the functionality of the MME. After that, the serving gateway is terminate the interface toward the EUTRON, and it serves as the local mobility anchor point of data connection of inter-node handover, inter-3GPP handover. Is PDN gateway is the provide the UE with the access to the PDN by assigning the IP address from the address space of PDN. PDN gateway serve as the mobility anchor point of handover between 3GPP and non-3GPP. 3GP that means LTE, and non-3GP means UMTS and 2G. It also perform the policy control, policy enforcement, PCRF policy enforcement, packet filtering and charging based on the PCC rules provided by the PCRF. Main functions supported by PDN gateway as IP routing and forwarding, and user-based packet filtering, UE IP address allocation, mobility anchoring between 3GP and non-3GPP, PCF functions, charging per user. And HSS is the central DB where user profile are stored. It provides the user authentication information and user profile to the MME. PCRF is the policy and charging control entity. It makes policy decision for the SDFs and provide the PCC rule. PCC rules. So also for the detailed PCF rule, that means their restriction for their home login are there, which PCRF, that means billing related information is stored in PCRF, And SPR provide the subscription informations to the PCRF, receiving the information. PCRF perform the subscriber best policy and create the PCC rules. So these are the important element. OCS is the provide real-time credit control and charging function based on the volume, time and event. So real-time credit control, it contains this type of information. OFCS, which contain the provide the CDR based charging information. So these are the functionality of the APS entity. So also there is some interface is there, LTU interface, which contain the between the UE and eNodeV is LTU interface. X2 interface between the two eNodeV is X2 interface. S1U interface is between the eNodeV and serving gateway, and S1 AP is between the eNodeV and MME. S5 interface between the serving gateway and PDN gateway, S5 and S8. If same network is there, then S5, and different network is an S8. S6A between the HSS and MME is the interface for the control plane between the HSS and MME. It exchange user subscription and authentication information. And SP between the SPR and PCRF. SP is interface for the control plane between SPR and PCRF. And GX is between the PCRF and PDN gateway. It is interface for the control plane between PCRF and PDN gateway. It transfer policy control and charging rule from the PCRF to the PDN gateway, support the cost policy and charging controls. Cost policy, that means contain the some QCI value 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 GVR non-GVR value. Just depend upon the charging value will depend upon the cost value. If suppose that someone has taken the different plan, is suppose that you are using the Airtel, they have some plan for the 2G, some plan for the 3G, and some plan for the 4G. So suppose that you are using 2G, so you need a low data throughput. So it's calculate the value from the and suppose that you are in LT and there is a different cost value, 4, 5, 6 different cost value have the different throughput is there. If you are using a low throughput, so it will provide it will charge for the low throughput data, so it will give the information to the PCRF. This person is using the low throughput, so this information is transferred to the PCRF, and PCRF store that information. Okay, for that particular, it's using this plan. Suppose that 4G suppose that in 4G they have a lot of the plan like that. Someone using the 100 rupees in 500 MB for 100 rupees. Someone is using the 500 in 3 GB. 3 GB data for Mbps, and data throughput is 4 Mbps. One is using for the 1 Mbps. So data throughput is different for the both plan. So it's give the information from the PDN gateway, calculate from the PDN gateway which cost value you are using. On cost value, that's it. PCR will store these information, and it's give to the, and it also and OCS value store this information, and it inform to the PCRA. So these all the things are happened in EPC, and so these are the interface of EPC and overall this LT network interface. So we will discuss over the LT protocol stuff in next video tutorial. So please, thanks for watching my video, and we'll come with the new features, new topics. So please subscribe my video. Thanks for watching my video. Bye. Take care.
Hello friends, I am Gautam. You are watching my video, Tit for Tutorial. Also, I am doing online business on cryptocurrency and revenue share. My income is $100 per day, and it is growing every day. You can do the same income with me. Call on my number. Number is given below. Thanks for watching my video. Bye. Take care.